We're also looking for traffic management signs for evacuations. We can't count on, I want to say this carefully, especially because Mary's in the room, so careful, Mary. But what we're looking for is to have our own supply of signs during an emergency, so we don't have to rely on DOT coming from points far away, and they might not even be able to get here during an emergency. You know, if you remember, go back to that big storm, I don't know if that was Superstorm Sandy, when we had a tree across 161, and that was impassable for the better part of a week.
And that was National Guard that eventually...
National Guard came in and cleaned us out, but if DOT was trying to come down that way, they wouldn't even be able to deliver signs that might say road closed or detour. We recently had a very tough traffic accident in front of the Rustic Cafe with a motorcycle and the car. We all remember that story. Well, we couldn't get DOT to come down on a Sunday afternoon to deliver signs saying, you know, detour or road closed. What we did is we had mayhem, people going down to that area, turning around, trying to cut down Plants Dam Road, and then at the end of Plants Dam Road, that was actually the scene of the accident. So it was, we need those signs. Yeah. In an evacuation, to be able to get massive amounts of visitors to our town and our residents to a certain route, that's what we need to do. So there's $8,578 identified for the purchase and management of signs for evacuations and other emergencies. And that's what the chief is proposing to use, the $20,311.36 he's been, the town has been awarded from the Nuclear Safety Fund.
Yeah, I'll put a motion out to be discussed.
Sure.
Move to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $20,311.36 approved by DEMIS to revenue account 01-04-400-401 NSEP grants and budget account 01-70-725-224-006 NESEP equipment to cover the cost of purchasing the above listed equipment for the EOC and forward to the Board of Finance for approval and a town meeting as required.
Second.
Motion and second. Are there any comments?
Mark, where does this come from? State bid? Most of these items?
These items,
I assume they're specialty items.
yes, I would think they actually probably come from the Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security.
Okay.
They're kind of, I have a meeting up there tomorrow morning, we kind of buy everything through that. I would think it's a group, but if it's we're not using town funds, so there's they'll have their own purchasing procedures and policy. Yes, ma'am. Sure, if you have the answer or a different answer.
When the proposal for the grant is submitted, we include quotes with that we obtain. And so once that package is sent up to DEMIS, then they review the package and approve for us to purchase what we've submitted to them in the proposal.
Okay, so that was all part
But they
of
do,
package.
but we do obtain quotes for the items before we send it in.
Okay, thanks. Great.
Terrific. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Terrific.
If I just may add, we've already voted, but I may just add.
Yeah.
No,
Okay. We
I
haven't
mean,
moved on.
this stuff's really important stuff. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
with what's happening with our weather systems and the increased traffic through this town on the highway and every which way, to have a vehicle or a trailer with that signage in it, I think that's essential, and I think it's a wise decision to have that available to us.
To piggyback on what Dan just said, especially with the road projects we have coming up on Niagara River Bridge over the next couple of years, coming up in just a few weeks on Route 1 by Heritage. I agree with Dan, very much so. These are very well needed.
And that other piece was that we didn't say much about it, but the network failure routers, very inexpensive in the whole scheme of things, but essential in an emergency. If our network system were to go down, to have an alternative that's wireless that works off of cell phone towers essential. And so I think those are all good things that we're doing. That's it.
Terrific. And I agree with you. This Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security is a terrific organization. You see them referenced down at the bottom. I sit on the board, and we'll be up at a meeting tomorrow to vote on their budget. And they're the group that helps drill the towns on not just nuclear emergencies, but all sorts of different emergencies. As a citizen, as a layman coming into this job and witnessing it as deputy first selectman for the first time, it was jaw-dropping and awe-inspiring to see all the different cogs of the wheel working together, receiving information from the state EOC and different other places. And it's mock drills, but when you're in the room, it's real. Plumes coming out of Millstone and evacuation routes being blocked and school buses being in accidents and all these other things happening all at the same time, and watching everybody respond and learning, but generally doing amazing work. So not only do we need the equipment, we need that work, and they do great work. So I wanted to throw that in while you kept the conversation going. Next on our agenda is departmental transfers. Anna, do you have that? I mean, we have it in our packet. There's a few items that need to be transferred. I don't know. I guess Anna's here to answer any questions. Let me put it that way. As you see, and this has been provided for you, a few items that need to be changed and transferred, $8,569.
I'll put a motion out to get started. Move to ratify departmental transfers in the amount of $8,569.48 processed for fiscal year end June 30, 2019, and to forward to the Board of Finance for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions?
Mark, the
Yes, ma'am.
transcripts, was that for the planning and inland wetlands for the last couple?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because of the significant transcripts that were required for a court case.
Because it's being challenged.
Yeah,
Okay.
for an appeal, we actually had to provide transcripts of one of several public hearings, hours and hours of tape.
Is that becoming more common that we're going to have to do that?
I mentioned that we're looking to digitize
Yeah.
this. We're also going to try to get equipment that can help us with that. So that'd be part of the package, because yes, it's becoming more common.
Okay. And the
it's a
courts accept
requirement.
those type of automatic transcription?
What we have doesn't work.
I know.
Using
that.
cassette tape, it doesn't work.
No,
So
I
I don't
heard all
know.
about it, yeah.
I don't know what the upgrade would be. That's not my level of expertise. But I do know that there is equipment out there that could have saved us a whole lot.
That's
of
what I'm
money.
getting at, yeah.
So whatever we spend in this equipment, we'll get it back after a couple of court
Absolutely,
cases.
that's a big chunk.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
it's a good question. And it's a lot of money. That's just
a lot of
part of
money.
it.
Right.
That's just
I know,
that's the money we were short. We already had money in there. So
right.
any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? Terrific. Next on our agenda is an executive session. We'll stay here and I guess we can go to the first selectman's office.
Probably should.
Is that the move? So we can go to the first selectman's office if you want to stay and keep the seat warm. We won't be terribly long. So in executive session, I will ask Anna Johnson to come in as our finance director and having knowledge of the contract as well.
Okay, I'll move to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the firefighters' contract and to include Director of Finance Anna Johnson.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? Thank you. We'll be
Okay.
right back.